Hi everyone, Vickieverlie here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. Thanks for joining me for the full moon in Virgo chart. This is occurring on March 18th, 2022, 3:17 a.m. Eastern, but times will vary. My name is Vickieverlie. I'm the Rock and Roll Prophetess. I've been in the metaphysical field for over 30 years. If you like astrology and you enjoy creativity and spirituality, then I invite you to like my channel and subscribe. So this way we can get the message out to more people on YouTube. So yeah, here it is, the new full moon, I should say, in Virgo. And again, we've got this major bucket chart. Well, of course we know that the full moon is when the sun opposes the moon. So this is the moon over here, and then we've got all this Pisces and Pisces, Aquarius, and some Capricorn energy. But I call this a bucket chart. It may not be technically correct, but it's just like there's this whole concentration on here, and then there's just this one planet on the other side that's kind of, it looks like a bucket. So this is a focal point of the energy. You know, it's a lot of it could be a focal point, but it also, to me, it seems like, just looking at it from an intuitive, this is an intuitive astrology report. I do understand astrology. I studied for years, but I definitely color outside the lines and get other information. So it feels like it feeling alone, you know. And here's the Virgo. So what's the Virgo energy all about? The Virgo energy is all about being practical, you know, being dutiful, getting the job done properly and on time, and being really responsible, and being really careful about food and health, and, you know, being really careful and thorough. And then what do we got on the other side? Here's Pisces. Yeah, Pisces. Pisces is, you know, just completely the opposite. It's because it is the opposite. It's always the opposite. But yeah, the Pisces, one little Virgo, I don't think can wrangle in all this Piscean energy, or get it to conform, or get it to straighten out, or get it to be on time, or get it to, you know, brush its hair before we leave, especially because Neptune's there and Jupiter's there. So, you know, you might be fighting a losing battle if you're trying to get people to see detailed things, or even to maybe think logically, you know, because Virgos are very logical. People are, you know, they're over here in Jupiter land, and Pisces land, and La La land over here, and they're just like, you know, it's all a dream, and there's no solid truth. There is no real truth. There's nothing that can be, you know, verified as truth, and that's what Virgo wants, to verify things as truth and verify the facts. Let me get a drink of water really quick. And Pisces is like, well, the truth is relative, man. You know? Pisces is, you know, he's just floating on the waves out there. So it's a very different dichotomy. I don't think the Aries is going to help much either, and the Aquarius energy with the in conjunct semi-sextile, you know, I always forget the name of it, but it's one sign over from the actual degree, you know, so it'd be the trine, or the, you know, so you go one sign over, and there's that. It's an aspect that causes frustration, and it causes, you know, tension. It's that aspect, and there's a lot of Aquarius stuff here too. So yes, it's a Virgo full moon, but I don't know how much the Virgo energy is really going to come into play here. Maybe it's just the realization of this. It's just like, well, you know, I've been trying to tell somebody, you know, I've been trying to reason with somebody. I've been trying to present my carefully formulated facts to them, and they just don't want to hear it, and they're never going to hear it, you know. So it could be that kind of energy. It could be also like, well, let's get the job done. We're going to work, you know, we're going to sit here and work till we finish it. And Pisces is like off looking at the clouds, and, you know, let's take a lunch, go to the beach for lunch, and never come back, you know. So it could be really frustrating for Virgo. If these were people in a room, you know, it'd be like the Virgo trying to get everybody rallied together, and they're just all like, and then Aquarius is over here just like, well, you know, they're kind of, you know, they're dreamers too. They're not really grounded so much in the reality. You know, they're definitely vibing on a different level too. So we've got the poor Virgo over here, but it is directly trining this moon energy. I mean, the Pluto is trining the moon exactly here. And do we have the third part of it? Yeah, there's actually like a grand trine in Earth. So that could help cement some things into reality. We've got the full moon at 27 degrees, high degree, trining the Pluto, and then trining the North Node in Taurus. So there is a very strong grand trine in Earth, in the Earth signs, with the North Node. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I don't even think this was on. That's on, and that's off. That was weird. Well, anyhow, yeah, this North Node is, so that's the direction that we really want to go in. So yeah, Virgo, being a full moon, there could also be like very much illumination. So we may get some illumination as to where we're going or what we're doing or how to get there. But getting the rest of the crowd to go along with it, maybe this isn't the ideal time. So this just might be a good time of planning. You know, making detailed plans, going over things with a fine-tooth comb and revising the plans. Like, oh yeah, well, I need to include that, I need to include that. You know, polishing up those fine details on a project or something. I do that all the time. I do that with, you know, music. I do that with painting. You know, I'm sitting with a painting now. I keep saying it's done, and then I sit and look at it for a couple days, and then definitely this kind of Virgo, I want to add a little bit of this over here, and that just has to be changed. You know, I sit there and I do my, you know, analysis. It's a great energy for analyzing things, but not necessarily, you're kind of off on your own in that over here. Analyze things and get clear about things. It's a great time to take a look at other Virgo things, or sixth house matters. The reason I bring up sixth house is because it's all the same energy. So that would be work, health. Take a look at how your work, how you're working. Take a look at your job, and is it really something that you aspire to do, or is it just to pay the bills? Maybe you want to consider making a plan to change that if you're not satisfied or you're not happy. Maybe you know, this time in the Northern Hemisphere it's spring, and a lot of us are like, well, here comes summer, get a swimsuit season or whatever, or just even, you know, shorts and tank top season. You know, you gotta get back into that. Take a look at, you know, well, this is what I want to do to start being more physically fit, or taking care of my health, or eating better, those kinds of things. Full moons aren't necessarily times for implementing it anyway. Full moon is more of a realization. If you were going to try to lose weight, though, right after this, in the waning moon, we come to the new moon, and then waxing and then waning. So in the waning moon, after the full moon, the new moon, we go waxing to the full, waning away to the new. So on the waning moon is always a good time to try to lose weight or something. So that is something productive that you could do on an individual basis. I feel really strong, even though, you know, that's kind of Aries domain of the individual basis. I feel like that's going to be, this is the individual. Look at this. You know, this is going to take a little bit of, you know, put your astrology book down and just look at this chart, okay? Here's Virgo standing off all by himself, and look at it. Here's the rest of the people and the rest of the world. So it's a time for self-reflection, self-discipline. You know, Virgos are very disciplined. You know, self-discipline, self-evaluation, health, work, making a plan. You know, these kinds of things, but don't expect everybody else to go along with you. And by the same token, you don't need outside approval to do things for yourself here. Here we have over here, speaking about Aries energy and, you know, being very much about yourself and, you know, doing plans for yourself, we have the Chiron with the Palace conjunct. So here we have this Chiron energy, which is always, of course, where we wound ourselves continually over and over again, year after year, lifetime after lifetime. And it's very much coming into the focus. And since Chiron has come into Aries, while it was in Pisces, we all got a lot of awareness about these things, about what we, you know, how we've been wounded. And now that it's moving to Aries, it's just like, well, I want to take action. No more sitting around. I want to take action. What can I do to take action to really make changes in my life and really heal my wounds? Excuse me one second. You know, heal my wounds and heal the things, the blockages and the obstacles that have been holding me back. But yeah, so we're all charged up, and I'm hearing all dressed up and nowhere to go. Yeah, we're all charged up, and we want to take some big action, but maybe we don't know. Well, there's shutdowns, lockdowns, so there's that. But then also, like, maybe we just don't know where to begin. So Virgo is going to be real helpful in making a plan about that, but also because it's conjunct Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena was always the MacGyver. She's a warrior too. She's, I think the energy of Pallas Athena in Aries is very nice because they're both, warriors. They both want to take action. But Pallas Athena is a major problem solver, an inventor. She can come up with ideas. You can come up with ideas. You can come up with plans of what action you can take. Or like many of us, we feel very much, the whole world is, feeling empathy toward, like, Bosnia. That's funny I said Bosnia. It's not Bosnia at all, is it? It's Ukraine. Well, the things, it could be, I'm not even sure what's going on in Bosnia. I'm sorry to say. I don't even know why I said Bosnia, so hopefully nothing breaks out in Bosnia if it's not going on now. But I was speaking of Ukraine, and there's this sympathetic outpouring from the world. We feel bad for the Ukraine, but what do we do about it? A lot of times we just feel really helpless, And it's great to post, flowers on social media, but is that really helping anything? Is that really helping anything? It's really not. So maybe energetically, but I mean, it's boots on the ground kind of stuff. Aries is action oriented. Virgo is really practical. And it doesn't have to be necessarily world events and countries invading other countries and stuff. It could be within our own lives. And very, Chiron and Aries, the energy of Aries very much does bring it back to home, make it very personal. Me, myself, and I. That's the first house energy, right? Yeah, where there's going to be this Uranus node conjunction. I was just looking into that. It's not there yet. Excuse me, but it is coming up. I think that's going to be very impactful for many people in our world as well. We've got Ceres and Lilith together in Gemini. So speaking and communicating is going to be really a key factor here. There's going to be importance in this. Speaking, communicating. In a Lilith kind of a way, standing up for yourself and not taking, not saying okay and putting your tail between your legs and saying okay, and this energy too, because, that can often, Lilith is like, no, we're gonna deal with this right now. There's something, I'm not going to be quiet. I'm not going to sit down. I'm going to speak out. And the Lilith Ceres conjunction is conjunct this Venus-Mars that's been traveling together. I have been doing a ton of these Aries Ingress readings, which are still available, by the way, till the end of the month. And this Venus-Mars comes in really strongly into play in that. They've been traveling together, but Venus-Mars can bring it down into your personal life, So people could be really, standing up, analyzing, their relationships. Is this relationship good for me? Is this relationship part of the reason that I'm dissatisfied or need to make changes? Maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's my approach to it. Maybe it's my approach. Maybe I haven't stood up, and maybe I'm choosing people and I'm not really being clear about who I am and what I want. Maybe I'm not. This is about getting really clarity about that, and speaking it out too. Not just like, well, yeah, I know. Because, a lot of times there's, you get in a relationship, there's always going to be things. And sometimes it's a deal breaker. They're like, no, I don't want to do that. But if you don't say, if you just be quiet, oh, I wish they would do this, but you never said anything about it. You never asked about it. You never said anything about it. You never told them. Then how do they know? How do they know what you want? Or, if they don't know, you expect them. My mom used to say, expect me to be a mind reader. So, this is a time to really voice your truth. Voicing your truth is really... And with the series being there, I feel like it could come across well received. I feel like it could be very much abundance, could be achieved from it, to it, and from it. You may be able to actually make headway. And it's this nice trine in the mental thing. So there could be, in the air signs, which are mental, so there could be a very much an understanding. They could really hear you. It could be, the communication could be very successful. Be very successful in communicating your needs or otherwise. It could be out to a group. Venus and Mars, of course, is the love energy, but it could just also, again, be what you're passionate about. If you're not seeking a love relationship, what are you passionate about? What else we got going on here? Let's go check the old aspectarian down here. So we got that moon trine the node, moon trine Pluto. Yeah, we saw that, the grand trine. It's opposing the Neptune. I talked about opposing the Pisces energy. Yeah, that's basically what we were talking about. Let's see here. It's Mercury sextiling Uranus. Mercury's conjunct Jupiter. Yeah. So the Mercury conjunct Jupiter just, again, reinforces what I was just saying, how that we could really speak clearly. And in the sign of Pisces, we can articulate things that maybe were really in the back of our minds, really in the subconscious mind, really might have been considered just intangible, like uncommunicable, unable to put into words. We may find a way to communicate them. We may find a way to express them and speak about them. Okay, the Venus-Mars is squaring Uranus. There's something we haven't talked about. Yeah. So it's trying this stuff, but it's squaring Uranus directly. I mean, pretty close there. 11 degrees, 12 degrees. So unexpected. Unexpected. Don't go to the gas station with your sweatpants and no makeup on. That's what I always say. There's like a Uranus-Venus thing. If you're looking for love, because that'll be the time, or, you know, that you're going to run into them. When you look like, you know, you rolled out of bed in your pajamas. Hair a mess, you know, so you want to be, you know, looking your best, putting your best foot forward if you are out there looking, because it could come in unexpected ways. Out of the blue, unexpected. There could be changes in financial and money things too with Uranus Venus, especially because the Taurus energy is involved, and that is definitely, you know, second house, money, Taurus energy. So there's that aspect of it too. So yeah, I mean, unexpected turnabouts. I'm feeling for some people out there, you might find out some things that, you know, that you suspected. And somebody could be doing a little bit of online, you know, I don't like to use the word stalking, but, you know, investigating, some online investigating of somebody that you may have a romantic interest in or other interest. And you could find out, yeah, they could get busted. Somebody you're involved with, if there's some kind of, the word treachery is coming through. I don't really want to use the word treachery either, but that's the word that came through. If there's been some kind of deception, or you kind of suspect something, it could be revealed by doing your diligence, by getting in there with that Virgo. Virgo, and looking up, you know, verifying information. They said they were here, and then it shows up on their Instagram that they were at this other party, or, you know, things like that kind of stuff. From a higher perspective, though, you could really have some big awareness about long-term Venus-Mars kind of things, you know, long-term patterns. If you've had trouble in that area, what are the long-term patterns? How can I break them? What role do I play in it? What kind of plan? Be aware of your own self-sabotaging is what I wanted to say, but I mean, that's kind of harsh too, but we all do it. We all do it, and wherever your Chiron is in your chart, that's where you're self-sabotaging yourself. We all do it. Because we get stuck in these patterns, you know, we get stuck in these patterns of behavior, of energetic alignments. We get stuck in these patterns, and this is a time to break free. And I think that's going to be one of the big things that is going to come down when we get to this Uranus. It's going to be later, I think it's August or something, when the Uranus node connection happens. That's going to be some major stuff happening at that time. Now we're looking at who we love. I'm hearing, who do you love? Who do you love? So who do you love? Who do you love? Why do you love? How you love? How could it be better? What are you passionate about? That's all coming forward at this time. But also just really getting clear about goals and ideas, especially like, you know, if you're kind of just, the Piscean energy can just kind of be like, yeah, well, kind of like to do something like this, or if it's love, oh, I'd like to meet somebody who's kind of like this, or like that, and this and the other. And this could be really nailing it down. Or this could be really nailing it down as to how you have been vague, not only in what kind of lover you want to attract, but what are you doing with your life, major life decisions. Because this stuff here, the Sun Neptune is conjunct. I mean, that's strong, and it's sextiling, trining the South Node and sextiling the North Node. So this Neptune Sun trining the South Node, that's like reviewing our past, not only our past in this life, but in other lives. What I was tuning into just then, what they were getting a download about, I mean, this is exact too, 23 degrees, 23 degrees. What I was getting a download about is forgiving ourselves. Sometimes Virgo and Scorpio both can be really hard, really harsh on themselves. And, Scorpio energy, sometimes that can just be like ripping yourself to shreds. Just like, God, I can't believe you did that. You're just really, really, really beating yourself up. And this is a higher octave. This is forgiving yourself, cutting yourself a break, treating yourself like you would treat a small child who's trying to learn something, because we're all trying to learn something in this life. We're all trying to learn it. And that's the kind of thing I explore in the soul readings. Like your past life, what you're striving for. That's what that's about. Your soul's journey readings, if anybody's really interested in diving deeper into that, having me dive deeper into your chart on that. That's what that reading's about. The Aries Ingress is going forward, and I really wanted to tell you guys too, I'm announcing that I've added one more astrology chart because we have there's a powerful vibes going on in this upcoming eclipse season. So, what we have for the Aries Ingress is a bi-wheel chart. I put your chart in the middle and all the aspects around the outer edge, because these turning points, like eclipses and like these ingresses, this is a change of a season or a change in the energy, and it shows me a snapshot. The whole chart is counted. It's not just the 0 Aries point. The whole chart is a snapshot of the energy. And then the eclipse, what we're going to do at the eclipse readings, I haven't offered this in a few years. I'm going to do your natal chart, the first solar eclipse, and then the lunar eclipse will be a tri-wheel. There'll be 3 charts that we're interacting with. So if any of that interests you, you can find that stuff in my chart. Yeah, but Virgo full moon, it's powerful in itself, but it's more powerful on the other side of it, So it's even though it's Virgo, it's kind of like doing the inward work. It's still very, very much in the forefront, I would say. And with Virgo, it's catching those little details, having those little aha moments. And then you got to take it in the Scorpio South Node too. It's where the negative expression of this Scorpio South Node can be where we just ruminate in it, where again we just rip ourselves to shreds over and over again, And then this ultimately, this Pisces energy, which is really the predominant vibe of this chart, even though it's the Virgo full moon, because we have the Sun, Neptune, and Jupiter, and Mercury too, but I mean Sun, Neptune, Jupiter, that's super powerful, is to go the high road of the Piscean energy. And again, the high road of the Piscean energy is going to be, excuse me for 1 second, I'm hearing a noise and I don't know what it is. The high road of the Piscean energy is going to be that forgiveness, not taking life so seriously, even with the Aquarian energy, kind of stepping outside of it, stepping out, looking at the higher picture, knowing that it's just an experience that you're having, and it's your soul, maybe it's almost like it's not an alternative reality, but not an artificial reality either. What do you call that, where you put the glasses on and all that stuff? That's like the whole premise of the great movie The Matrix, one of my favorite movies of all time, the original one, the very first one. That stepping outside of the Matrix, we could just put it that way, and seeing things from, these higher realms, then bringing it back into the Virgo energy and making a plan to implement what we're really doing here, and not getting caught so much in the drama of the Venus and Mars and cyber stalking people and stuff. I mean, you could use that energy that way. Virgo would be really helpful. Virgo energy would be really helpful to do the little cyber detective work, but is that really what you're here to do with your life? It's going to be different for everybody, and some people are totally over here, some people are totally over here, and most people are in between, at various stages, in between. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget about the different readings I order. Again, if you like my channel and you like astrology and spirituality and art and music, I've got a couple songs coming out. And then my album comes out in April. So if you haven't already, please check all that stuff out for me and hit the subscribe button, because that really helps me to, you know, continue to grow my channel. I'm one of the very first people on YouTube to do this kind of work. So I appreciate those of you that have stayed with me all these years. And for newcomers, again, if you like astrology and you like creativity and spirituality, I invite you to subscribe. Thank you so much for joining today. Have the best full moon in Virgo ever, and we'll speak again soon.